Hello guys, it's a bright Tuesday, a sunny one. Welcome on the Startup Talk. Today we'll be looking at how we can come up with interlocking blocks. Well, here we are in ISSB. Shortly we shall get to know what it means. Meanwhile, keep watching the Startup Talk. Keep watching as we go through each and every process of the interlocking blocks. Thank you. Welcome back guys. So with me I have a guest and he's going to introduce himself. He's the person who is supposed to take us through this whole process of making the interlocking blocks. So you're welcome.
Yeah, it's a pleasure being on this TV, and it's a pleasure that you have come through for this program. What we have here, we are introducing an appropriate technology, which is ISSB. ISSB in full, it is interlocking stabilized soil block. This appropriate technology is applied to address the problems in Uganda for affordable housing and also making our Uganda a beautiful one, not destroying it in terms of firing traditional bricks, which in turn turns into issues that affects the environment, which include some as drought, and in the near future, if we lose trees, we shall lose also oxygen, and all of a sudden we shall not have a safe life or either safe environment.
Okay. So we'd like you to take us through the process of coming up with the interlocking blocks.
Thank you very much. The interlocking blocks is a technology that is got in available resources like material. The available resources that we talk about is maram, well mixed with 5%, a small ratio of cement, and we put it into a block machine. Like as you see, our team will be taking us through how they compress in a block machine. Then we get the block out. The block we get is cured in only 7 days, and it is ready to be at the site. The interlocking block with its advantages is that you save 83% on the motor. Again, it saves you some shillings because of the interlocking mechanism that forms a mechanical bond as we are building or constructing.
Okay, let me cut you short. Before we go far, what are some of the materials one needs to have?
Some of the materials, like I told you earlier on, that we have the available materials, which is the subsoil that we use, which is readily available in every place of Uganda. So you get maram and cement.
Okay, basically that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at the first process.
The first process is that we excavate maram from your side, which is red kind of subsoil. Is soil that is below our loam soil. So that is what all you need, and a few cement that we apply in the technology. Yeah.
So these guys behind us, they will show us what we have to do, right?
Yeah, in the next few minutes they will be taking us through how the production is done. The machine basically is operated by 4 people. and the 4 people we are talking about, in an 8-hourly working day, we produce between 400 and 500 blocks. Okay. So that means they are capable of doing that, and also they can also be sure that in a production of these blocks, like for example, someone needed blocks to build a 3-house structure. In a week period, they are ready to produce those blocks. Oh. Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, welcome back. So we'll have the whole process being shown right away. Please take us through.
Thank you very much. Earlier I told you I'm by names of Isaka Muhanjire, a founder of Interlocking Technology in Mbarara City. So what we are going now to make is a process. We can kickstart our process. What we first do is a mixture of 5% of cement with what we have there is 1 wheelbarrow of maram. What we add in terms of quantity of water, they are around 2 liters. It doesn't need much water. So the process is moving on. The mixture is being done. So as a mixture is being done, 5%, like I told you, is being mixed with cement and maram. The advantages of this stabilized soil block is that you use less mortar, and compared to that you save some shillings in terms of using less mortar. And the advantages that we have also is that these blocks can be made on site. Like I told you that the maram is readily available in every area. So those are the advantages. And also partly what is major is that we preserve the environment through making this block. So the mixture is being done, and they will put the mixture into the machine, which is our block machine. And after the mixture, we shall have one person compressing, and the other person will be letting out the block out, so that it is readily available to be put in under cure process. Like I told you, the cure process is taken only 7 days for it to be mature. Remember where we had stopped? In the mixture of our cement and maram. So the person is still mixing, and as we are heading to the block production, we are seeing him still mixing. So like I told you, it is supposed to be operated by 4 people. One this side who will put the mixture into the block machine. The down part of it will be a person also capable of removing the block from the machine. Then the right side of it, we are supposed to have a person that should be making the entire process to sending it to the next person who will be compressing the block into the final product.
Okay, looking at all this, it brings me to this point. I mean, someone might be wondering, what is the whole story behind this?
The whole story behind this, the way we started is that I personally was making our traditional burnt bricks, and I came up with technology, out of technology, that how best can we address the issues of environment, as well as also having a product that is cost effective and durable and of structural sound. So we came up with this technology, and of course we went through the other processes of making research. How is it appropriate to Ugandans? How is it appropriate to the environment? So finally we came up with this machine, which we got from Kenya. Yeah, and we are taken through the entire process of training, programming, everything.
So it involves, what do you mean by programming?
Programming, I think I meant assembling it, maintaining it, yeah. Yeah. So the process still continues. We are ready to put our mixture into a block machine, which he's going to do. So as we are putting our mixture into a block machine, as you can see, it has to be filled to the maximum and shouldn't be placed into placed in between the block. So he's putting the mixture. The mixture, like I told you, it doesn't need much water. In for example, in a 6 wheelbarrow of marram and 1 bag of cement, we put around 3 liters of water. Then we put 1 sack of cement. Then we produce around 150 blocks. So the mixture is being done and put into the machine. So we shall put Kavera on top of it as the process goes on.
So what is he really doing? Like, is he compressing or what? What does that mean?
He's not compressing, he's putting so that the corners are so stronger than any other part of the block, because the corners should be stronger in a such that they are structurally so that we produce a mechanical bond in between our block.
Okay, let me ask this. How do the shape come up?
The shape comes out in a way that it has an interlock down and an interlock up, so that when you're pressing the blocks, they interlock with each other. That kind of mechanism for the mechanical bond.
So, what are the problems you're trying to solve by coming up with the interlocking blocks?
The interlocking blocks majorly solves the problem of affordable housing, basing on the fact that we have a large population in Uganda, largely demanding houses. So we introduced this technology to address that problem of affordable housing. Secondly, is that we realize that we have an employment rate in Uganda. Okay. So what we are doing here, we have a training scheme where we involve communities in training programs so that they also adopt into economic development and sustainability. Yeah. It has is that this one is so stronger. I would have demonstrated how it is strong. Even if you put it into water for several days, it will not deplete or kind of deteriorate. And if you look at kind of the other bricks, the traditional burnt bricks, they even deplete when they have already even been built. The other advantage is that we use less mortar compared to the traditional blocks. We save 83% on the mortar. And thirdly is that these blocks can be made on site, which reduces on the cost of transportation. The other advantage is that majorly it saves the environment. We place our mixture into the block machine, and the person doing it is called the Kamanje Saddam, who is our trainee here. And like I told you, you have to flatten the mixture onto the machine. Then you put Kavera on top of it. As it's moving on, as he's pushing the soil into the block machine, he's not compressing, only that he's making sure that the corners are so strong. Yeah.
Why do you have to put a cavera on top of it? On top of it
is that the block can stay on the other part of the machine. So we have to make sure that we put a cavera so that the block is independent in the machine. Yeah. So what he's doing now is going to take over the handle for compressing to the next person, and the next person is also our trainee. He's called Ronald. So he's compressing the block. After compressing the block, he gets the handle back to the other person, which the other person will be also letting the block out so that it is ready to be out for cure.
What is that process of cure?
Curing is the process of maturing the block so that it is so strong. Yeah. So the block, it is out, like you see. It is right now what we are doing is that he presses down the block so that it is cured for 7 days for being able to be ready for the site. And what he has done is that it is firstly cured by air for only 24 hours, and the rest is done, the other days is done by watering it.
By watering?
Yeah.
Not the sun?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the blocks we produced here of around 500, and which can build around, it can even build a house of 2 rooms. So that means it can be ready to build a house for someone who is renting. We actually ask people why are they renting when they can build so affordably with our technology. So the blocks that are here, they are ready for the site. They are well mixed with they are well cured with water. Okay. Yeah, they took 7 days to be mature enough. Very much. Back to our topic. As you can see, this is our traditional burnt brick from kiln, ready to be at the site. As you look at it, it is irregular shaped and also the small size, which of course the irregular shape takes a lot of mortar to make the wall straight. So that means it takes about half-inch cement, half-inch mortar as you're using it both sides. So that means you will not have saved money using this block. And our other part of interlocking, like I told you, this is the mechanism of interlocking. Down part of it is where you put the other block. So like I told you, you don't need mortar in between here. And also this part is where the block you press along with it. You press under next to the block, the other block. This of this size, it is 10 feet here, which is longer than this, the other block, and this one is 9. This side is 5.5 inches, and this one is 4 inches. So this one in a square meter we use 35 blocks, and this other one we use 30 blocks in a square meter.
This is 30.
In a square meter. Okay. So that means if we come to a comparative analysis, is that you have to use many blocks when you're constructing, and this one you use less blocks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Meaning this is a little bit cheaper.
This one is not a little bit cheaper. Only that this one, where it covers the other two.
Okay, so someone might be wondering how much this cost.
Our interlocking block ready, it costs between 600 and 900. That is, it varies because of the where have we got the mariam from, and what is the size of the project you're giving us. So that's how it comes to that range. But we sell it between 600 and 900.
Okay, that brings me to this question. What are the target markets?
Our target market for these interlocking blocks, we serve local market in terms of hospitals, schools. We can serve even the residential people who can affordably use this technology. So that is our target market.
Oh wow, that's nice. So are there some of the challenges you face?
The challenges we have faced so far is the lack of enough capital, because we could be having so many machines. According to our services we provide, we have rainwater harvesting tanks, and we don't have the machine ready here. It does the interlockings kind of curved, so that they are ready to make a circle, and they can be able, with those blocks, they can be able to be built, to build with even houses for this Bahima. So we would actually lack that. Yeah. Okay. Then also, secondly, we lack, like I told you, we lack capital. We could buy other machines, so that wherever client comes through, we can produce blocks and reduce on the time frame. The other machine that we lose here is that we lack a machine that is of wider range, that can make perimeter walls, yeah, for the better of our clients.
So where do you see ISSB in the next 2 to 3 years, or rather 5 years?
ISSB, as we are promoting it to the next level, we see ourselves to have a target client not less than 20,000 people served in the next 2 years. We also look at the prospective areas where we shall be incorporating a number of innovations. For example, we shall be incorporating plastic recycling, where we can be able to get plastic pavers, and we hope to make our innovation center as a one-stop solution center, so that we can solve people's problems, and which does not harm our environment in Uganda. For example, like I told you, we are looking at innovating to have our ready available materials, where we can be able to make, for example, this plastic paver, and this paver is gotten from from our plastic bottles and plastic bags, where it is melted into certain saucepan, and we are ready with the product. And this one, we use only plastics, where we replace cement in our materials, so that the client saves some money. And also in the next 2 years, we look at incorporating, coming on board and getting cooperations with other NGOs. So we call upon other NGOs that are environmental fit, so that they can join us into our innovations, and also our local government, so that it can intervene into these innovations, so to solve our Ugandan problems, which are commonly into plastics, for example, which are commonly into affecting our environment with the burning of the bricks. What I didn't tell you about how profitable is this business is that in our production costs, it is produced at 450 shillings. So we have a range of getting a profit margin of around 200, and profit of 200, like I told you, depends on the project size. If, for example, you approached us for a 3-bedroom house, it will take you around 7,500 blocks. And if you calculate on the 200 shillings as a profit margin that we get, sure, we can really sustain our business in 1 week or 1 month. So depending on our operating costs.
I believe you have something to say out to the world, to the viewers who are watching. Just any motivational words for them.
Thank you very much. I would call upon our people of Uganda to adopt using our technology so that we can solve the problems around us. We can build together. We can cover the population deficit of housing in Uganda. And also Uganda, I call upon the people outside there that COVID is around. So take care of yourselves, be home, be safe. And lastly, I would like to call upon the local government supporting NGOs, other corporate companies to come on board, help us transform this country into a conservation process of it, so that we are able to get into our art of technology that we are applying. We address the problems of affordable housing, unemployment, transforming lives of the communities, so that we are able to gain much from it in terms of unemployment rate, and also the population growth in terms of demand for houses. So people out there, lastly, I'm called Isaka Muhanjiri, a founder of Interlocking Technology and other technology that we are bringing on board in terms of innovation, like plastic pavers that are gotten from plastic kind of recycling. So that and also we are located at 4 miles Kashenyi as you're going to Isinjiro. So people out there, come join us, give us business, so that we are ready to invest into our programs of removing the unemployment rate to a certain percentage, and also coming onto the affordable housing in Uganda. Yes, would like to take this chance to offer a space for our supporting co-founder who has been supporting us through our acquiring this project and moving ahead with our project. You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Issa. Thank you so much, Youth Empowered Youth in Technology. Thank you so much. So basically, these young two people approached me, Issa and Slight, with brilliant ideas of wanting to make construction cheaper, realizing that it is a problem in this country and world over, and looking at their ideas. So that's how this project started. So we came and looked for a place here. We started. We are actually making 2 years now but the bigger part of time was spent in doing research in terms of the equipment they wanted to use, the technology, the source of materials. So, and I think it's been good, actually amazing, because of the issue of environment. Of course, initially they were concerned with the social issues and not much to do with the profitability component. But later when we discussed, said if this is a business, the business must have that business approach, that business interest. At the end of the day, you need profit, because the moment you are not making money, you will not sustain the good ideas you have. So we discussed, they agreed, we started. Now it's like, as he was explaining, these interlocking blocks look so nice. It's a new technology. Whoever looks at them goes with a lot of stories to tell to the people wherever they go. Because on top of being a new technology, it also looks beautiful and attractive. That you can have a house very strong at a cheaper cost and nice and beautiful. That sometimes you don't need if to do the plastering. You can just come, and if you want to decorate, you come with your colors and decorate in between the blocks, which is very nice. And for maybe inside, you can do the plastering inside for beautification purposes. That the strength, you don't need to add anything. So looking at like this part of Mbarara, this is Greater Mbarara, because it is just 100 meters from the city boundaries. This is in Isingiro district. Isingiro hosts 2 refugee settlements, that is Nakivale and Oruchinga. And for those people who looked at that place in the 70s, 80s, and even 90s, it was a forested place. Today, the place is more or less a desert. People have depleted all the vegetation in search of housing components. But remember that those places, most of these dry places, this is part of Ankole Masaka dry corridor, where you have termites. So you get building materials from the forest. You put up a house. Within 1 year, termites have collapsed the entire building. Now you build again. That's how the place has been depleted of the variable vegetation and the tree species. So I looked at it as a very good component of the construction deficit we have in this country, so that these refugee settlements can benefit from there. Now that they are looking, even carrying out research to do with other requirements, especially with the roofing, because they're talking of tiles out of plastic materials, plastic waste. They are looking at pavers out of plastic materials. They have started research in that direction, with of course support from Empowered Youth in Technology and others. There is a lot of hope that this dream will solve society problems. And the people are getting interested, they are coming, they carried out their calculation. They are going to get a return. And that give them the capacity of wanting to train the youth, because once profits are made, there will be what you expect surplus profits. Some of it will be plowed back in further the project. And also, so the people will get money, people will get income. Now today's graduates, people who come from universities, colleges, and all the other tertiary institutions, they are in the streets, they are moving around, there are no jobs. Some, even those who get some jobs, they are what we call odd jobs. In economics, we call it like some kind of disguised employment or underemployment. That a graduate is earning 150 per month. Now, what kind of accommodation or house do you think that person will stay in and eat? So once this technology is spread, it attracts the attention. It means it will attract a number of youth to be in along the chain: production, construction, marketing and additional value addition technologies that they will be coming up with. So I think it's a very good project. It's a very good initiative. I think those who are watching, those who are listening in, they should see how to get in touch with these people, maybe not only for assistance, but also for skills acquisition. I think it's a blessing in this part of the country. Thank you.
Your viewers for watching. This program is brought to you by Empower Youth in Technology. Under this we have the startup program. This majorly is to empower people out there to learn from each and every businesses, and then to also give a platform to the great innovators out there. Well, thank you so much for watching. Every Tuesday at exactly 5 p.m. It has been Henry behind the camera. Thank you.